The driver was cited for not doing a proper inspection. Now, little Haley was signed into the daycare as being inside, i.e. off the bus, when clearly she was not. But yet another person was supposed to do a sweep of the van. Apparently that wasn't done either. And get this, we spoke to the attorney representing Haley's parents, and he claims, as you heard from Mike Brooks, this has happened before. He says the owners of Katie's Kids Learning Center were cited 2 years ago when an 8-year-old girl fell asleep inside a van and was left there. Now, she thankfully survived. We have reached out to the daycare center owner's attorney. We have not heard back. They are invited on any time. Deborah Opry. They have 3 other daycare centers in South Florida. They're now being sued. I have the lawsuit right here by this distraught family. But the only person criminally charged is this driver. Your thoughts?
I read the wrongful death case, and there is more than just the driver. You have a driver's log, you have a failure to do background checks. This has happened before. You have failure on the most basic levels, underlying severe extreme negligence and child endangerment by this driver and the kiddie school for failure to have their checks and balances in place. So yes, the entire school should be sued. It should be shut down immediately because other children are in danger. And if you look at the prior incidents where children had been left on the bus, it is a clear and convincing case that there is severe child endangerment, negligence, and wrongful death.
If this daycare center wants to come on and tell us why that's not true and give their side, you come on. You could come on tomorrow. This is why I think that there needs to be video cameras in all daycares at all times, that the parents can log on to the internet and see what's going on. And yes, in the van as well. And the parents who have filed this lawsuit want alarms as a matter of law to be placed in every van, in every daycare center in this country, so that if a child is left there, an alarm would go off. I think it's a great idea.
You can put cameras in taxi cabs. You can put cameras in daycare vans.
Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely.
Great point.
Let's do it. We've got to do this.
Reasonable care standard. The bus driver, I don't know where her brain was at, but a reasonable care standard is you turn around and see who's in that bus. She's driving children. Reasonable care standard has failed.
Well, I mean, Deborah Opry, do you have the legal right to shut them down?
You do, because if corporate headquarters are running 4 or 5 different Katie's Kids units, everything to be shut down until they can go through the checks and balances review of what these people are doing with the children.
Exactly.
If they had started with place 1, a child is on the bus. Is the child now off the bus? Is the child now in the school? Where is the child? This is reasonable care standard. The woman doesn't have to have higher than an 81 IQ to basically turn around and say, is the child off the bus? Are
and
there any
Stacey
children
Kaiser,
on the bus?
psychotherapist, this happens tragically all the time outside of the context of daycare. Just the other day we were reporting on the guy who got drunk at a wedding and took his kid and left, forgot where the car was, and the kid was in the car, Stacey.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I do hear about this all of the time in different capacities, and what I think is important to say is we're talking about really important things about system changes and school changes and monitoring daycares, but parents at home really need to do spot checks of your daycares. You need to check their track records. You need to check in on them periodically, make surprise visits, or get an aunt or uncle or cousin to show up so you can protect your own child.
It's terrifying. Thank you, fantastic panel. Tonight, an outrageous story of injustice that defies explanation. My guest tonight, a courageous teenage girl who was punished for refusing to cheer for her attacker. Hillary was a teenager. I think she was about 17 when she says she was raped by 2 teenage boys at a party in Texas. Rakeem Bolton and Christian Roundtree were arrested, but then they were allowed to return to school after a grand jury initially decided not to indict them. About 3 months after the attack, Hillary was cheerleading at a high school basketball game. When Rakeem Bolton stepped up to take free throws, Hillary stopped cheering, sat down, and crossed her arms. And for that, she was kicked off the cheerleading squad. That makes no sense to me. I just don't understand how 2 courts could agree with the school's decision. Deborah Opry, weigh in here. What the heck are these judges thinking?
This is a fine line because you're dealing with First Amendment rights, and then you're dealing with a sexual assault, and the care and custody of a child in a school environment. The first and primary thought that the superintendent and the schools should be looking for is the health, safety, welfare of this student. And if it was a position where she was absolutely enraged or upset or emotionally distraught to be in his environment, why wasn't he suspended? Why wasn't she released from doing whatever she was doing but not required to leave the cheerleading squad? So the fine line is, what comes first, Jane? Does it come with the rights of the health, safety, and welfare of a child, student, or the First Amendment rights of this school and saying, you have to cheer because those are the rules? I am very distressed because
now,
they were
Hillary,
forced to choose.
How did you feel when you were reprimanded for not cheering for the young man that you say attacked you?
I felt very upset because cheerleading was my high school career. That's what I did that my entire high school career. And when they told me that that I had to choose between cheering for him or not cheering at all, for me it was worth giving up cheerleading to not cheer for him.
Yeah.
Well, on the other side of the break, we're going to get deep into this. It's outrageous.